If it's the afternoon, and it is, at least right now it is. If you watch this in the morning, it won't be. But if it's the afternoon and it's me, then it's time for Joel.live. Joel Comm here, and welcome to the first show of the year. Just dawned on me it's the first show of the year because I was actually away over the new year and I was home for 2 days. And then I went to Las Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of shows here over the next couple weeks, and I got a lot of great guests scheduled for you. But this is actually the first show of the year. How about that? Just dawned on me. 2019. We're here. And starting it off with a bang, I love going to Las Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show. It's really one of the few reasons that I enjoy going to Las Vegas. And we're going to talk about that today. I believe my guest will be here shortly. But while you're coming in, and before we get started, just want to welcome you to the show and ask you to please share that this broadcast is now live. I'm going to be showing you some really cool gadgets today and talking about some of the gadgets. Also have some screenshots that I'm going to show you of some mind-blowing technology stuff that when I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, is that really happening? Am I really seeing this thing that I think I'm seeing? So I'm going to be sharing that with you today. If you want to comment and have me be able to see your comments like I can right here with Liz from Sydney, you have to actually watch this on the page that it is originating at. It's at facebook.com/BeLiveTV app. And of course, BeLive.tv is the tool that I use to go live to Facebook Live. It's what allows me to have up to 3 other people on screen with me at any time. It allows me to do these cool lower thirds. It allows me to put comments up on the screen like this. It allows me to form an agenda beforehand. And if you go to BeLive.tv, you can try it out for free for your own broadcast. Hello, Brad in Indiana. And if you're watching, please do comment where you are watching from. I'm telling you, some of the things, I've got some things right here next to me on my desk that I'm going to show you that are super cool, and they'll be coming your way soon, available for purchase through electronics dealers. And then I've got some things that are screenshots that I'm going to be showing you as well. Let me just make sure John knows where to come, because I thought, I can go live and talk about this stuff myself, but wouldn't it be more fun if I could have a friend of mine that was also there to come on and speak about things that he saw as well. So hopefully he'll be able to pop in here soon. Kind of last minute that I called on him to join me. So I'm going to get started regardless. The Consumer Electronics Show, for those of you who have never been to it, is a beast of a trade show. It is truly the biggest trade show I've ever been to. They had over 180,000 people come to this show. Over it was almost 4,500 exhibitors, 1,000 speakers, and it is all of the latest tech that's going to be coming your way, and the stuff that people are going to be buying and using in the years to come. I might have gotten the times wrong with John. Let me see if he can still. I may have given him the wrong time. Did I do that? Let me see here. Checking my calendar. Nope, I did it right. It's all good. He's on his way, and we'll have some fun when he shows up. So this show, I went to my first Consumer Electronics Show when I was probably 17 years old. I'm 54 now, so that might give you a clue how long I've been at this. I was working for a video store when I was still in high school as their grunt, and the owner of the store got me a pass to go to it. It was in McCormick Place in Chicago, Illinois, and blew me away. I've been hooked ever since. I don't make it every year. It's kind of like every 2 to 3 years I try to go. If you miss a couple, you're not going to miss too much, and then you get caught up when you come to the new one. But the technology always blows me away, and you can just see from the front here of their website that you get a good idea that this show is about robots and drones and fitness bands and automobile technology and tablets and games, and we're going to show you a little bit of some of those things that they had, just so you have an idea of how big this is at the Las Vegas Convention Center. It takes up the entire convention center. We're not just talking just the North Hall. We're not just talking the Center Hall. We're not just talking the South Hall, both floors of the entire South Hall. But they put up a tent outside that's almost as big as one of the halls that houses more merchants. And then it spills over to the Sands Convention Center, takes up 2 floors there, and to the Venetian, where many of the merchants have their own suites in the hotel that go up to the top of the building. It is truly massive, and it is sensory overload. You cannot see it all. I was there for 3 days. I was actually on location doing some work for Alibaba.com, and got to spend time in their booth, just talking with 24 of their sellers. Of course, Alibaba is the world's global marketplace. It's the B2B site where you can have anything designed and sourced. A lot of it coming from Asia, and a huge business for them. And so I was there primarily for that, but I also got to walk the show floors, and I made it around the center what do you call it, hall, and I made it around the South Hall, and I made it around the Sands. I didn't even make it to the North Hall, where they have all the automobiles and the auto technology. So I'm going to pull up some screens here and show. Oh, look, there's John. Let me see if I can pull him in. Aha! He's going to yell at me because apparently our times were off. There he is. John, how you doing, brother?
I am doing great, but I'd be doing better if I understood time zones.
That's okay, man. Things get messed up. But I always pronounce your name wrong. Is it Koetsier?
That is pretty close. It's a smart mispronunciation. It's Koetsier.
Koetsier. It's a nice Italian name. Hey, John Koetsier.
Not in the least, but it's all good.
Yeah, good. So for those of you who don't know John, you should. He's an author. He's a speaker. He's a consultant. He is a prolific writer. He writes for Forbes and Inc. and HuffPo and TechCrunch and all these places. He's a futurist. He's a pastist. He's a todayist. He's all those things. And
Wow.
John, I was just kind of setting the stage for the vastness of CES 2019, and maybe you could speak a little bit about your experience, and then we'll dig into some of the technologies that we saw.
CES is insane. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's horrible. It's all those things.
It's horrible.
It's 180,000 people. It's Vegas and all that means for traffic and everything like that. It's 3 million square feet of show floor space. It's mind-blowing. Your first time is almost bound to be a bad experience because the show is literally all across the city in 10 or 20 different hotels, plus the Las Vegas Convention Center. But after a couple times, you start to get the hang of it, where to go, what to do, what not to do, and just to chill and have fun. And I enjoy it every time. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, it is really good fun, and it's true that I never thought of it as horrible, but it can be. I mean, your feet hurt, which is one of the reasons that I love, especially in the South Hall, that we have the manufacturers of the massage chairs.
Yes.
Strategically placed. I'm sure you partook, right?
So I did, but not in the Las Vegas Convention Center. The the PepCom event. It's for all the press. You get to go in there, see stuff a little early, and they had it. And it's literally the Ferrari of massage chairs. It's a $15,000 massage chair designed by the guy who helped design the Enzo Ferrari, using the same leathers as in the interior of the Ferrari. I mean, it's like wow.
Well, I'm actually
Incredible.
showing it right now. There was a booth. And
Well, that's a $30,000 model.
so they had a Lambo on stage, and then they had the dancing girls, the models around it. And this chair right here was on stage. Nobody got to sit in this one. It was just on stage, and it is $30,000.
I got a massage in the $15,000 one. It was pretty bloody good. I can't have that one.
I'll bet you it was just as good as the $30,000 massage.
I don't know, but
right?
It was good.
Yeah. So, that's one place that, those booths are always popular. And I sat in, not this one, but they do this 0G thing. They tilt you backwards. And the massage chairs now, I don't know about you, but I had La Sharper Image iJoy 2 years ago, and it would do your back. And that was pretty much it. These massage your whole body. It just hugs you.
Pressure on your hands, pressure on your feet, neck massage. It adjusts to your body width. It adjusts to your body's height. I mean, wow. You got to buy a car basically to get it, but it's pretty cool.
Well, what else really blew you away this year? When you tell me, I'll pull it up here and show people.
I had a ton of fun playing a robot called Forpheus. It's in the Omron booth, and they're a robotics manufacturer that's kind of global. And Forpheus is a ping pong playing robot. And I played Forpheus last year at CES, but he got smarter and he got better. The only problem is I got better at ping pong as well. And I put a lot of spin on it, spin serves and stuff like that. He's not that great with spin. So I was happy to win a couple points from Forpheus, score one for the humans against the Terminator. So that was fun. I enjoyed that. I saw this really, really cool thing. Eureka Park is one of the segments, one of the parts of CES, and it's where smaller, younger, tinier startups come in, and they have this little booth, and you have the Dutch section and the French section. In the Dutch section, I saw this one company that has an air conditioner. You think, okay, what the heck is an air conditioner? Big deal. Well, apparently, about 37% of the world's energy by 2050 will be used for AC. Really? As India and China come on board, people get richer and buy air conditioning units. And it's an environmental catastrophe, uses all kinds of bad chemicals, even if they're not the old ones that kill the ozone layer. This one does it mechanically. I still don't understand it. I'm asking questions about it. It's related to how a Stirling engine works, and I'm going to be writing about it shortly as soon as I understand it in Forbes.
Very cool. Now, one of the things that blew me away the most happened when you walk into the central hall. Of course, the central hall is where you get a lot of the major electronics companies.
Yep.
So that's where you find Samsung and Sony and so on. And well, speaking of Samsung, I'll talk about that in a moment. But LG had the most jaw-dropping thing.
The roll-up.
The roll-up. Let me put that up here so you guys can see this.
Not a fruit roll-up.
Not a fruit roll-up. So what you're looking at right here, this is the TV. But you're like, wait, where's the TV? It is this base, right? This is transparent right here that it's sitting on. This unit right here, the TV rolls up out of it to a full television.
65-inch, 4K. Incredible. I asked the LG people there, how often can this roll up with it, not taking damage? And apparently they've rolled it and unrolled it 35,000 times, which they say is like 20 years of owning your TV. And the amazing thing, I mean, you saw this, it's not like there's a frame that it rolls into. It's not like a screen getting pulled up. It unrolls itself, and it is self-framed. Really cool.
You push the button here. I'm going to try and pull up this YouTube video so you guys can see this. Okay, there you can see right there. This is a demo of it. It goes all the way down in this demo. She's stopped it, but it does go all the way down, and it goes all the way up as well.
Really, really cool. 65 inches again. I'll, my next upgrade for TV is a little bit bigger than that, so maybe they get a little bit bigger, but I probably can't afford that one anyways. I'm guessing it's OLED because it's LG, so it's probably already expensive to start with, and probably doesn't even have a price tag at the moment.
So what would be the upgrade for you if that one's a little too much?
No, well, 65 is what I have right now. And I'm very happy with it. I think the next upgrade is probably 75, but I what you see in science fiction movies, maybe the Catching Fire series or whatever. It's like the wall is a screen. That's my ideal, and I can't wait till I can have that. And I think you're getting there with the Samsung reference.
Here it is, right here. This is Samsung's, the largest flat screen that's ever been debuted. It's a 219-inch TV, and it is aptly called the wall because
amazing.
You need a massive wall. It's 18 feet. That's 219 inches. It's 18 feet.
Now that's diagonal. I wonder what the X by Y dimensions are. I don't know if they have it there, but that'd be interesting. I'm guessing it's something like 10 by 8 or something like that.
Maybe,
I don't know.
It's super huge. That's all I know. And the brightness is amazing for how big it is. Yeah. And this is, when I had a home theater in my house when I owned a home, and it was a 103-inch screen, and that's a pretty big.
That's pretty big.
This is twice that size. I didn't have a room that it would fit in.
If I got something like that, I would embed it in the wall. I wouldn't hang it on the wall. I'd embed it in the wall, invisible, no hardware, no wires, nothing around it. That would be amazing. And then you would
put on nature shots, right?
Exactly.
And there would be, a forest or a beach or whatever. I mean, it's the stuff we see in futuristic films.
Exactly. And have that soundscape playing. I don't know if I'd ever get any work done though.
This is going exactly where it's been portrayed, because eventually, right now it's like 4K is now passe. 8K is where it's going.
Absolutely. We saw a lot of 8K TVs there. The only question is when you can actually get it, because it's not commercially available, and how much will it be? I mean, if you could actually get it, it's probably somewhere around $150,000 US right now, which is insane for almost everybody, perhaps almost literally everybody. But if you look at it and you say, okay, how long does it take for inventions that only the very richest can buy to come down to the level where an average person can buy it? You're probably talking between 5 to 10 years. So that's pretty interesting, because most of us, God willing, are going to be alive and around and kicking 5 to 10 years from now. We're going to be able to coat our house walls in these types of things. That's pretty cool.
Did you check out the Hey Google display?
You couldn't miss it. You talking about that little city that was outside of the central hall
with the ride?
I did not take the ride. I did not take the ride. I heard it was cool. I heard it was exciting. I would like to know how many millions of dollars Google spent at CES, because that was immense and impressive. And it wasn't only there; they were everywhere else. But they're trying to catch up to Amazon.
It was a 2-story building. I'm gonna see if I can access my iCloud photos. Don't you know it wants me to 2FA into my iCloud account, which is a good thing. I'm glad I do that. Let me see if I can get in here. Allow. Yes, there it is. And logging into my account. This was full-blown Disney. Of course, why don't you tell everybody what Hey Google is?
Well, everybody knows the Google Assistant, right? I mean, the Google Assistant is actually in 1 billion devices, Google said at their press conference at CES. And sure, most of those are phones, and that's fine, because most of us are interacting with voice assistants with our phones, whether it's Siri or Google Assistant. And so you say, hey, Google, and there you go. By the way, my Google Home Mini just woke up and is wondering what I'm talking about.
Right on time. Just on schedule. I'm looking here to see if I can find, because I know I shot some video in my story of it. But it was a full-blown Disney-esque ride where you would enter into the queue, and in the queue there was, these figures that kind of gave you a taste of what was to come. And then they put you in a room that was kind of like a theater that sets the stage with this big animated this dad laying down in bed, and he has to, where did he have to go to he had to get cake or something, right? For a birthday party.
I did not take the ride, but
and then you walk up these stairs, and it's the whole second floor, and there's the moving car, just like, Snow White or Peter Pan or the Haunted Mansion. And it takes you on this dark ride through the world of Hey Google. And
the interesting thing for me is that you saw huge exhibits from Amazon in the past. You did not see huge exhibits for Amazon or Alexa or booths at CES this year. But what you did see is almost every booth you'd go to, it's something that you could control via voice. There's a toilet you can talk to via Alexa. There's a bed you can talk to via the Google Assistant or Alexa. Chairs that you can talk to. Obviously, smart speakers and all those other things. But essentially, almost everything will eventually be addressable by voice. And that's the battle that's going on. That's actually what I talked about in one of my most recent columns at Forbes as well. Interesting days.
Everything voice controlled. Oh, you know what? Here I found in my Instagram story. So there you go. You can kind of see. And there was a song that was playing as you go through this, but they put this up just for the CES.
I hope they can reuse it somewhere else.
I'm sure they will. It was truly remarkable. Now, did you come home? A lot of times when you go to these things, you'll be given gadgets. By some of these vendors. Did you come home with anything for show and tell?
So I came home with a few things. I don't have them here for show and tell. One of them is a sleep machine, and it's some company that's patented some very cool way of the right kind of sounds of the right tones and volumes to help you go to sleep. So I'm going to be trying that. Some pain relief stuff that I got, but one that's really interesting is something I didn't bring home, and that is a undersea drone, which is coming, and the company is shipping to me. So I'll be testing that out and trying that. I have a DJI drone. Oh, and by the way, Epson is sending me the AR, augmented reality goggles for my DJI drone. Ooh. So I will be able to fly, and it'd be like I'm on the drone.
Dude, that is so cool.
I'm kind of excited for that.
It's your own version of what's that Disney ride, the flying one, where you put you in the chairs and soaring. It's Disney soaring. It's going to be like that. And of course, there was no shortage of robots, right? And this was one that I saw called the Temi.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. It's following me around. And it's got a little panel on it and a little, place to put things on. Yes. It was pretty cool, and I was super surprised because I got a Sony Aibo,
yes,
and paid almost $3,000 for it. Which, by the way, I'm a little disappointed in it.
Shocker!
It walks around in circles a lot, and but when this guy was demoing the Temi to me, he said, "How much do you think it is?" I said, "Well, it's probably about $5,000," and he said $1,500.
Not bad, not bad.
Here's the good news.
I mean, we are in the era of robots, right? We are in the era of anything that I might have to do that might be possibly even vaguely onerous, or like fetch me a beer. There's going to be a robot for that. The problem is most of them, they're kind of single purpose or dual purpose or something like that. They're not amazing, not great. The robot vacuums are wonderful if you only have one floor, right? So there's room to go, but there's all this promise for what's cool and going to be there in the future. And I'm looking forward to that.
Gene says, what about translation devices? Did you see any at the show?
I did. I was at the iFlyTech booth, and nobody knows who the heck iFlyTech is, and it's like the 15th biggest company in China with, I don't know, $15 billion in revenue or something like that, and they do translation and they do AI, and they have a huge presence there. And they showed me this little gadget. You talk to it, and then it translates to about 60 different languages. It's not an earbud, But apparently earbuds aren't as effective for long-term conversations because they run out of juice or something like that. So that was pretty cool. There's a lot of tech out there for that. It is of varying quality, as you'd expect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not always quite there yet, and sometimes it works, and sometimes
you insult somebody.
Well, I have a few gadgets here for show and tell that I picked up at the show. Lots of Bluetooth speakers, right? No shortage of Bluetooths in every shapes and size.
Yes.
Some of them sound really amazing, but what really blew me away was I found what might be the world's smallest one, at least for commercial sale. It's called the Minnow, the MINO.
Okay.
And this is it right here.
Wow.
Kind of give you
thunderous audio.
I'll put it next to my face here so you can see just how small it is. And it's actually pretty impressive for this tiny little thing.
Really?
Like, I brought it back to my hotel room and put it on, and I'm like, this is filling the room with music. I mean, the quality's obviously not that of a larger unit, but for travel,
yes,
this little puppy, I'm taking it wherever I go. And the technology they have in some of these now is you can daisy chain them, so you can put two of these together.
Nice. That's kind of like Sonos for your hotel room. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, and there was another one, and I don't remember the brand name, but it was a speaker about this big. It was at the Alibaba booth, and you Bluetooth to one of the speakers, and then from that speaker you can connect up to 100 of these, any of their devices. It's got to be their devices.
Wow.
So could you imagine, like, don't hire a DJ for a party. Just everybody gets a speaker, and everywhere you go, it's the music is playing at the same time from one device.
And I can see some kind of app as well, and people can submit their requests and they get upvoted, and that joins the playlist. You could have a lot of fun with that.
You've been going to CES for years, just like I have. I was talking about when I went to my first one. It was at McCormick Place, and I want to say 1981.
Wow, McCormick Place, is that Chicago or where's
Chicago? Yeah.
Chicago, right?
I grew up there, and I was working for a small video store in Northbrook, Illinois, like Atari 2600 era, and I was the grunt, and the store owner got me a pass. I was like, this is heaven. So back then there used to be a lot more gaming that took place. That's not so much now. We've got the E3, and even that's not what it used to be, but I'm still a game freak, and I walked away with one of these minis, arcade gaming. They also do bigger standalone units, but this is a little Pac-Man unit I haven't busted out yet because I want to take a picture of it in the box.
I saw some of those, and those are very cool. What I did see in the gaming was some cool stuff, and I know there wasn't as much VR stuff as there maybe last year or something like that. Maybe we're in a sort of a down cycle before VR really starts taking off, but I saw lots of stuff for VR gaming. This one outfit had these shoes that are really slippery, so you stand somewhere you can run and not move, so you're running in the game, and it knows how fast you're running, which is kind of cool. And there was another one that looked like, there's something. I live in Vancouver, and there's a thing called the Hellevator. And it's like an elevator, except everybody sits on the outside. It goes up about 100 meters, maybe 200 feet, 250 feet, and then it falls. And so that's why it's called the Hellevator. Oh. And there was a machine like that for VR. You strap on a VR headset, and you go in these seats. It shakes you, moves you up and down. I mean, it's massive. It's like a caterpillar, like the thing that tears up your lawn or the roadway. Pretty cool.
Awesome. There was one other game thing I saw that I thought was pretty cool. I'm going to put it here on the screen. Old school Atari had a booth, and these are standalone Pong machines, but there's an analog aspect. See the dials, and it's like it's floating along the top.
Nice.
Of this device.
Nice.
And that's not video you're looking at there. Those are isn't that something?
I need a bigger paddle to win at that Pong.
Right? Yeah, it was hard to play, but I'm like, Atari is like recycling. Everything old is new again.
That's awesome.
We're nostalgia freaks. Okay, so there's another thing that I found that I once upon a time owned an Amazon Echo. I was
You don't anymore?
I was an early adopter. I got it at the beginning, did a review. I got rid of it about 6 months ago because I don't believe that these devices aren't listening at all times, and there's enough data.
Conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know these, look, Silicon Valley is not pure. But this little thing that I got called the Mute, you put it on top
Saw that.
of your Echo or your Google Home.
Yep.
And it's like when you want it privacy, make sure it's not listening at all. You just put this on. So I think I'm probably going to pick one again and use this and test it. It's basically it helps you to protect to have safe home device.
I could save people $30 and just say unplug it, but
Yeah, then it's got to reboot every time.
it reboots almost instantaneously. It's like firmware. It takes no time at all. Who cares?
So don't get it, is what you're saying. Okay, one more cool thing for show and tell here that I have in my hand. Lots of in the health area, which is why I wish John Nasa had made it. John's
yes,
our digital
super smart.
Yeah. Around health and fitness, a lot of life bands, right? That,
yep.
And I am not wearing one yet. I haven't worn one yet. I can measure my steps on my phone. I can measure sleep with an app as well. But this one, the Gobi 2 from Healbee.
Yes.
Did you see this one at the thing?
I did not see that one. Tell me about it.
Here's what blows me away. So, it tracks your burned calories. It checks your stress level, your heart rate, steps, distance, sleep quality, and all that, and your emotional state. So it's kind of like a mood ring. But
really,
this is what's going to blow you away. I hope you're sitting down. The technology in this can detect your caloric intake.
Get out of here.
Nope.
I want to know the technology behind that. That's amazing because nobody has solved that. That's the real challenge. I mean, I want to know how many calories am I eating and what kind of calories and how is that affecting my health?
So it has a bunch of sensors in it. It's got a galvanic skin response sensor, a gyroscope, what is that? A piezo sensor, a 9-axis accelerometer, temperature sensor, and impedance sensor. And there's something that they told me, but I was so blown away at the time that I cannot re-communicate it to you. It's Gobi 2 by Healbee, healbee.com. So you can go read about it there. But they said the way they know that this is working is they had people wear it and they put food into them and they know how much calories they were inputting. 90% accuracy.
If that's true, that's freaking amazing because the only way I've thought, whether you have smart dishes or smart cups or something like that, or you take a picture of your food and there's some super smart machine learning algorithms that know how much it is and all this stuff. But that's amazing if that's true.
You don't have to input your calories at all. So I will be testing this one again. I've got all these things. I haven't broken them out of the package yet because I want to get some pictures before I do, but I will be testing that one for sure.
Cool.
To see, how accurate is this? Because I'm going to know I'm putting in this many calories. Is it measuring it properly?
These guys were at the show too. This is a ring. It's a smart ring. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little laser in there. It'll tell, kind of your heart rate, other things like that. I don't use it primarily for that. It's by Motive. They were at the show as well. I use my Apple Watch mostly for those sorts of things, but this is a great sleep tracker as well. And it's great because you're not going to smack somebody that you're sleeping with over the head with a hard metal object. So a little ring, that's all you got to wear, and you get your sleep tracking.
Speaking of sleep, there was a company there that they create an app, but they've also got a thing for your pillow to help resolve snoring issues. Right.
Okay.
A lot of people deal with snoring. Some people more seriously than others. I know that I snore, not like sleep apnea snore, but it could be a serious problem. And so they have an app that you can actually go download for free from the App Store that is called Anti-Snore Solution. And what you do is you put your phone 30 30 centimeters away from your pillow, and it listens to you, and
no way.
It tracks your sleep by sound, and if you start snoring, your phone vibrates, which should trigger you to maybe move. But the device that they have, John, is this pillow that's got like 4 air pockets in it. And if you
Yes.
snore, one of them inflates to trigger you to slowly
No way.
move so that you reposition and stop the snoring.
Huh. It's intriguing. I hope you get to test that. I'd love to test it because, are you going to wake up? If my phone buzzes, I might wake up. I don't know. If my pillow moves, will I or not? If you can continue sleeping and then not annoy somebody that you're sleeping with, that's pretty big.
You can find it because there was a story out there about it. Anti-snoring pillow. Well, there's actually some that are out there. I don't know what makes some of them anti-snoring or not, but I know that this one actually repositions your head. So
Cool.
yeah, I'm
Cool.
gonna try that one as well. What else? What else did you see?
Oh, sheesh. Lots of smart cars, lots of self-driving tech. The LiDAR people are out there, right? So your car can see things. Did you see the Bell? It's not a quadcopter, it's a hexacopter. Did you see that?
I don't think I did.
So imagine a full size, we're talking like Sikorsky sized helicopter, but it doesn't have a central rotor. In fact, it's got these arms and it's like a drone. It's like a drone that can carry about 25 or 30 people. It's a prototype, but it's a full size prototype right now. It's freaking amazing. It's incredible. And if that ever gets to reality and gets shipping, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, we'll all be. So yeah, some of these drones they're so huge.
Yeah.
They're creating them to be able to airlift people out of emergency situations.
I did see the drone that the Dubai police bought as well. It's like the single person, like Star Wars, whatever they're called. Those, those little flyers that you're using around in the forest. I did see the single person drone that they're using. They did not fly it. They turned it on and sort of turn the rotors up a little bit, but it looks very dangerous.
Like a speeder of sorts. Here's something else from my Instagram story. This is the future of our displays. This display is mounted on this thing with a fan, so you could see what it does. But check this out. What you're looking at here is a flexible display.
I saw that, and it's hard to see in a picture, but it's really like 3D, and it's a very cool effect.
But look how thin that is, and bendy. It's totally flexible.
Yeah.
That's so. What is that going to look like for the tablets?
I played around. I don't know if you got a chance to play around with the phone that's also a tablet, the foldable one.
I didn't.
I forget the company's name that does it, but I played around with that. It looked pretty good. The hardware is pretty close. It'd be a chunky phone, but still not bad. Folds out to a tablet. Looks really good. The software needs some work. It wasn't always recognizing whether it was folded or not, up or down. But I envision a future like that screen that you have with all the intelligence that our phones have today and more, and just roll it up and put it away. That'd be amazing.
Wow. And here's one more. Check out the creepy robots dancing in sync.
I saw that. Yep. Elder care. Elder care is actually a really big deal. I saw like locks that you can give your kids control of, right? Your adult children. And then, grandma who is maybe senile or whatever doesn't wander off, because apparently that's a big deal. I thought it was a horrible thing. You have seniors who are locked in their homes and they can't get out, but apparently it's a real big deal. I shared it to my Facebook community, and people were saying, you know what, grandma wandered off and took us 2 hours to find her. Somebody else had something like that as well. Apparently that's a real big issue. So elder care, especially in countries like Japan, is a real big problem.
You put a tracking device on grandma.
Right? They have privacy violation.
There's the little, the tracker, not like a embedded chip, but you can put trackers on your devices.
Alexa, where's grandma?
Yeah. You just set off somebody's device. I guarantee it. Well, John, I appreciate you jumping on, especially on short notice. Let me share your blog with people right
Oh,
here,
thank you.
and give the URL for those of you both watching live or in the replay. You can check out John's stuff. His last name spelled Koetsier, Koetsier.
Wow.
And you can find his latest articles, some of them from CES, right here on his blog. Hire him to speak, read some of his work that is on many of the leading business publications. And you wrote, I saw this scrolling through here. Let me find it. You wrote a book, a fiction,
I did.
science fiction book.
I
No,
did.
no
It was
other
a lot of
comments.
fun.
Let me go here to the Amazon page where I'm sure that goes. Tell me about this book.
It was so much fun. I've always wanted to write a book. I'm writing the second one right now. This one is nonfiction, but this one is science fiction. Is my favorite genre. I've always loved science fiction. And believe it or not, David Brin, who is a massive science fiction author, edited it for me. Just freaking amazing. It was amazing. You know what? I'm going to tell the story a little bit, not so much about the book, but about how I created it, which is relevant for anybody who wants to do anything.
Sure.
And I wanted to write the book, and how do you write that? It's like eating the elephant, right? You got to do one bite at a time. Okay, that's the story. What does that mean? I decided my goal was to write a book, and I was going to pay myself first. First half hour of every day, I was going to dedicate to that project. Within a year, I had my book, and it was super exciting.
You know, writing fiction is one of those things that's always like getting a story out of me. It takes a really special gift to be able to pull something out of nothing. It's kind of like painting, right?
Mm-hmm,
You put a blank canvas in front of me and I'm like, now give me something to work with and then I can go. But writing is a blank canvas.
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it to anybody who has an interest.
I'm curious, is when you write, do you kind of know where the story is going, or does the writing take you there?
You know, I think it's a bit of both, to be really honest. I definitely had an idea of the destination, and I had some of the signposts, some of the stops, the route markers along the way. But sometimes there's a twist, and the characters do something you don't anticipate, and you got to roll with it. I mean, it's creative. Things are going to happen. So I definitely think that there's a little bit of both there.
The book is called No Other Gods. You guys, if you're into science fiction, you can pick it up for Kindle for $2.99. You know, that's
super cheap.
a no-brainer there. And check out John's site, johnkoetsier.com. John, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to drop you down for a moment, but stay put. I want to talk to you here as I finish things up. And thanks to all of y'all. That's all y'all. There's y'all, and then there's all y'all. Right. And that's how we used to say it in Texas and Oklahoma. Thanks for watching. Got some great shows coming your way here over the next couple weeks. Stay tuned to BeLive.tv to find out what they're all about. And I hope you have a great night, morning if you're watching the replay, or day, or whenever it is. See ya.